The whistle's shrill blast sliced through the night like a knife, and I froze mid-stride on the dew-slick grass of Lincoln High's field, my cleats digging in too deep. "Jax, what the hell are you waiting for? Hit him!" Coach Harlan bellowed from the sidelines, his face a mask of fury under the floodlights, but all I could hear was the phantom echo of my twin brother's laugh. Gone now, silenced by the crash that stole him from me 3 weeks ago. In that heartbeat, as the linebacker charged like a freight train, I realized pretending to be Jax wasn't just a lie. It was the only way to keep his ghost alive, even if it meant burying my own heart 6 feet under. I twisted left, fainting the way Jax always did, my shoulder slamming into the guy's pads with a crack that reverberated up my spine. The crowd erupted. 2,000 voices chanting "Warriors! Warriors!" But to me, it was just noise masking the terror gnawing at my gut. I'd aced the playbook in secret study sessions, mimicked his cocky swagger in the mirror until my reflection blurred. But this was real, raw, the kind of bone-jarring collision that could expose every fake fiber in me. As I shoved off and sprinted for the end zone, jersey number 22 flapping like a flag of surrender, I caught a glimpse of him, Riley Kane, our quarterback, his eyes locking on mine through his face mask, a flicker of something unspoken passing between us that made my stolen cleats feel like lead. We won that game by a field goal, the clock ticking down to 0 amid fireworks of cheers and the acrid tang of victory pyres lit by overzealous boosters. In the locker room haze of sweat and Bengali, I peeled off the helmet, letting my damp hair fall just so. Jax's effortless tousle, not my usual anxious mop, and slapped high fives like I owned the night. "Dude, you were a beast out there," Riley said, clapping my back hard enough to jolt the air from my lungs, his grin wide and genuine, the kind that crinkled his hazel eyes and made the whole damn room feel warmer. I forced a Jax laugh, deep and rumbling, but inside, I was unraveling, because Riley didn't know the half of it. The half that was me, Elias, the quiet kid who'd spent years in the shadows, sketching poetry in the margins of biology notes while Jax conquered the gridiron gods. That night, as the adrenaline crash hit like a hangover, I drove home in Jax's beat-up Ford F-150, the one with the dented fender from his joyride sophomore year, windows down to let the autumn chill whip away the lie clinging to my skin. Mom was waiting on the porch of our clapboard house in Elmwood, Ohio, her face gaunt under the porch light, clutching a mug of tea gone cold. "How was practice?" she asked, her voice a fragile thread, because we both knew she meant how was he. I slid into the role seamless as silk, spinning tales of tackles and touchdowns, watching her eyes light up with borrowed pride. Dad was inside, nursing a beer and the SportsCenter highlights, oblivious as ever. He'd always seen double in us, twins like mirror images, but never dug deep enough to spot the cracks. Lying in bed that night, the ceiling fan whirring like accusations, I replayed Riley's touch. Not just the bro slap, but the way his fingers lingered a second too long, steadying me after that blindside hit in the third quarter. We'd been friends by proxy, me tagging along to Jax's parties, fading into the woodwork while they bonded over protein shakes and PlayStation marathons. Riley was the golden boy, broad-shouldered, quick-witted, with a laugh that could disarm a room and a scholarship offer from Ohio State already in his pocket. Gay? Nah, not in Elmwood, where fag was still locker room currency and coming out meant trading your Letterman jacket for a target on your back. But there was something in his gaze tonight, a pull like gravity, that whispered secrets I wasn't ready to hear. Or maybe that was just me, projecting my own buried truths onto the one guy who made the mask feel a little less suffocating. The next morning, school buzzed like a hive on steroids. Hallways thrummed with slaps on the back and, "Jax, man, you're unstoppable," from kids who'd barely glanced my way before. I nodded through it, channeling Jax's easy charisma, but my palms sweated under the weight of the charade. Lunch found me at the Jock table, prime real estate in the cafeteria, flanked by linemen inhaling mystery meat while Riley dissected the game tape on his phone. "See that spin move? Pure instinct," he said, zooming in on my Jax's highlight reel, his knee brushing mine under the table. Accidental? Maybe. But the spark that shot up my leg said otherwise. A dangerous current I'd spent years ignoring. After the bell, as I shoved books into my locker, Riley cornered me, his backpack slung low like he owned the corridors. "Hey, wanna grab shakes at Dairy Dream?" Debrief the win. His tone was casual, but his eyes, those damn eyes, held a question mark. I hesitated, heart hammering, because Elias would stutter and bail, but Jax lived for these moments. "Hell yeah, Kane. Loser pays." I shot back, and just like that, we were off, cruising Main Street in his Jeep, windows fogging from the heat of unspoken words. Dairy Dream was Elmwood's heartbeat. Neon sign flickering like a heartbeat, picnic tables sticky with decades of spills, the air thick with vanilla and teenage dreams. We claimed the corner booth, the one with the carved initials from '98, and Riley dove in, replaying the game like a director's cut. "That block on third down? Saved my ass. You're on fire this season, Jax." I stirred my chocolate malt, the spoon clinking too loud, and mumbled something about team effort. But then he leaned in, voice dropping. "Nah, it's more than that. You've got this intensity lately, like you're seeing the field different, deeper." His fingers tapped the table, inches from mine, and I swear the world narrowed to that gap, electric and terrifying. We talked for hours, about the pressure of state playoffs looming like storm clouds, the scout from OSU who'd be at the next game, the way Elmwood felt too small for ambitions that big. Riley opened up about his old man, a factory worker with fists like hams and expectations heavier than the linebackers hit I'd taken. "He thinks football's my ticket out. Doesn't get that I don't know, man. Sometimes I wonder if it's all just noise." His vulnerability cracked something in me, a fissure where Elias seeped through. "What if it is?" I whispered, my voice slipping Jax's timbre for a heartbeat. "What if the real plays off the field?" He looked at me then, really looked, and the silence stretched like taffy, sweet and sticky, until a group of cheerleaders burst in, shattering it with giggles and glances. Driving home, the radio crooning some Springsteen ballad about highways and heartaches. I gripped the wheel until my knuckles ached. This was supposed to be temporary, just until Jax healed from that dirt bike wreck. His knee shattered like our family's illusions of invincibility. The doctors said 6 weeks, maybe 8. The team couldn't afford to lose their star running back mid-season, so I'd volunteered, forged the notes, memorized the tells. For Mom, who smiled for the first time since the ICU. For Dad, who slapped my back and called me son, without the usual slur of disappointment. For Jax, comatose in his room upstairs, tubes snaking like regrets. But Riley, he was the wild card, the unintended fumble that could cost me everything. That weekend's practice was brutal. Mud churned to chocolate pudding under relentless drills. Coaches whistle a metronome of misery. I pushed through, muscles screaming in protest. Elias's frame wasn't built for this brutality. All lean lines and late-night reads, not Jax's coiled spring power. During water breaks, Riley sidled up, towel around his neck, dripping like a Greek statue come to life. "You're quiet today. Everything cool?" I nodded, gulping Gatorade to drown the lie, but he pressed, gentle as a southern breeze. "Look, if it's about your bro, the accident, I'm here, okay? No judgment. Your bro." The irony twisted like a knife. If only he knew the bro was me, fractured and faking it. By scrimmage's end, bruises blooming like ink blots on my ribs, I collapsed on the bench, helmet dangling from numb fingers. Riley sat beside me, our thighs pressing in that accidental on purpose way, and for a stolen minute, the world hushed. "You ever feel like you're playing someone else's game?" he murmured, staring at the horizon where the Ohio River snaked lazy and low. My throat tightened. Yes, every damn day. And before I could stop it, the truth bubbled up. All the time. He turned, his hand finding my knee, an anchor in the storm. And in that touch, I glimpsed what real connection felt like. Not the roar of the crowd, but the quiet thunder of two souls colliding. But secrets have a way of fermenting, turning sweet to sour. Monday brought rain, sheets of it lashing the windows of AP Lit like judgment from on high. I slunk in late, hood up to hide the Jack's haircut I'd buzzed in a panic, and slid into my seat next to Lena, the only one who'd ever clocked the difference between twins. Elias, She hissed, eyes wide as saucers. You're trending on the team's snap. What the fuck? My phone buzzed. Jax's phone. Really, with notifications? Blurry pics from practice? Caption Jax got soft? Warrior woes. Someone had overheard coach chewing me out for a dropped handoff. Twisted it into gossip fodder. Panic clawed up my spine as I bolted to the bathroom, locking myself in a stall to scroll. The comments stung. Dude's lost his edge since the crash. Bet it's that queer vibe, Kane's been too chummy. My stomach lurched. They were circling, sharks scenting blood. And Riley? His story was there. A hard eyes emoji under one of my Jax pics. Innocent enough but damning in context. I wanted to hurl the phone, shatter it like my resolve, but instead, I texted him from the shadows. Shakes tonight? Need to talk. His reply pinged instant. Always, man. 7? Dairy dream again. The rain drumming a tattoo on the tin roof, turning the world outside to watercolor blur. Riley arrived soaked, shaking like a labradoodle, his laugh peeling as he slid in opposite me. Biblical out there. Fitting for end times talk. Huh. We ordered the usual. Chocolate for me, vanilla for him, and danced around the minefield, chatting scouts and stats until the malts melted. Then, soft as fog, saw the snap shit. They're idiots. You're killing it out there. His foot hooked mine under the table, deliberate now, and heat flooded my cheeks. Not Jax's golden tan, but Elias's porcelain flush. I'm not. I blurted, the dam cracking. Killing it, I mean, it's all. Words jammed, a traffic jam of terror. His brow furrowed, concern etching lines too deep for 18. All what? Talk to me, Jax. That name, a barb. I stared into my glass, bubbles rising like confessions. What if I'm not who you think? The question hung, fragile as spun sugar. He reached across, fingers lacing mine, warm, calloused from spirals and spikes, and squeezed. Then show me who you are. I like what I see already. In that booth, with Springsteen crooning Thunder Road on the jukebox, I leaned in, our foreheads touching, breaths mingling like smoke signals. His lips brushed mine. Tentative, electric, a spark that ignited the dry tinder of years suppressed. It wasn't fireworks. It was a hearth, steady and sustaining, the kind of kiss that whispered home. We pulled back, dazed, grins mirroring like twins, and for the first time, the mask slipped not in fear, but in freedom. Riley, I breathed, my voice Elias true. There's something I have to tell you. But the door chimed, shattering the bubble. Tommy Ruiz, lineman extraordinaire and gossip's grand poobah, lumbering in with his crew. Kane, Jax, bromance alert. Laughter boomed, crude and cutting. But Riley's hand stayed firm in mine under the table, a silent vow. We finished shakes in hushed tones, planning a real talk, away from prying eyes, tomorrow after practice. Driving home, windows fogged with more than rain, I felt alive, tethered to possibility. Jax's truck rumbled like approval, the radio syncing to our stolen rhythm. Yet dawn brought reckoning. Jax stirred that morning, first time since the wreck, his eyes fluttering open to Mom's gasp of joy. Eli, he croaked, voice gravel and ghosts, spotting me in the doorway. Relief warred with guilt as I rushed in, gripping his hand. Hey bro, you're back. We talked in whispers while nurses bustled. The team, the games, my stand-in stunt. His laugh was weak but real. You? On the field, world's ending. But pride flickered in his gaze. Keep it up till I can. For us. School that day was a gauntlet. Whispers trailed me like smoke. The snapstorm had swelled, fueled by Tommy's dairy dream sighting. Jax and Kane total weirdos. In the halls, shoulders bumped harder, eyes narrowed sharper. Lunch skipped. I holed up in the library, Lena's texts burning holes. They're saying stuff. About you. And Riley. Be careful. My phone lit with Riley's. Can't wait for tonight. Got a spot by the river. Bring your real self. Heart soaring despite the sludge, I replied. See you there. Practice was purgatory. Coach amped for playoffs, drills razor sharp. I fumbled a route. Elias nerves fraying, and earned laps. Riley covering with a slippery ball. Coach. His wink from the huddle was lifeline. But Tommy's sneer lingered. Careful, pretty boy. Don't trip over your feelings. The word feelings landed like a gut punch, echoing my own turmoil. As sun dipped, painting the field in fire, Riley jogged over post whistle. River. 8. Don't ghost me. I nodded, pulse thundering louder than the marching band tuning up. The Ohio River at dusk was a ribbon of mercury, banks lined with willows whispering secrets to the current. I parked Jax's truck in the gravel pull-off, hard a war drum, and waited on a weathered picnic table scarred by lovers past. Riley arrived on foot, backpack slung, his silhouette cutting the twilight like a promise. Hey, he said, voice husky, dropping beside me with 2 pilfered beers from his dad's fridge. We cracked them, foam fizzing like nerves, and stared at the water's lazy swirl. Tell me, he prompted, shoulder to mine, solid as oak. Words tumbled then, halting at first, then torrent. The wreck, Jax's coma, my desperate swap, the lies layered like onion skin. I'm not him, Riley. I'm Elias, always have been. The quiet one, the one who draws instead of dashes. Who? I choked, tears hot on cheeks. Who fell for you the second you looked past the jersey? Silence stretched, taut as a quarterback's drop back, and dread pooled in my gut. Betrayal's shadow loomed. He'd bolt, tell the team, unravel the fragile web. But Riley shifted, cupping my face. Gentle, reverent, and kissed me again. Deeper this time, tasting of hops and hope. Elias, he murmured against my lips, the name a revelation. I've known, not all but enough. The way you flinch at hits, quote Whitman in the huddle. Jax's thunder. You're the rain after, necessary, beautiful. Shock splintered me. He'd seen through? Why didn't you say? He shrugged, thumb tracing my jaw. Waited for you to trust me. And this, his eyes molten hazel. This is real. Fake Jock or not. We talked till stars pricked the velvet sky, his own secrets spilling. The bi-curiosity he'd buried under bravado, the fear of losing the game that defined him. Football's my armor, but you're the chink in it, the one that lets light in. Laughter mingled with tears, hands entwined like roots, the river bearing witness to our fragile pact. No grand declarations, just the quiet vow of us. 2 boys bridging the gulf between pretense and truth. Monday's practice dawned crisp, the kind of autumn bite that sharpened every sense. But for me, it carried a new edge. A secret shared, a weight halved. Jax was home now, propped on pillows with crutches like scepters, coaching me via text. Cut left on the sweep, dummy. And tell Kane hi. I grinned at my phone in the parking lot. The Warriors lot a sea of tailgates and testosterone, and pocketed it before Riley could spot the blush creeping up my neck. The huddle was electric. Coach diagramming trick plays for Friday's clash with Riverton, our arch-rivals, the ones who'd ended our streak last year with a Hail Mary that still haunted nightmares. Kane to Ramirez, option pitch to Jax. Eyes swiveled my way, expectant, and I nodded, channeling the phantom Jax confidence. But when Riley barked the cadence, Blue 42, set, hot, and the snap cracked crisp, it was Elias's instincts firing. I read the blitz, juked right, and hauled in the screen pass for 15 yards, mud flying like confetti. Whistles blew, teammates hooped, but Tommy's glare from the sideline was a thunderhead. Lucky catch, faker, he muttered as we jogged back, loud enough for the line to hear. Riley shot him a look, steel wrapped in silk, but I waved it off, whispering to him in the crush. Later, River. His nod was promise, a brush of knuckles that sent shivers chasing the sweat. School blurred. Classes droning quadratic equations I solved in my sleep, hallway gauntlets where fists bumped mine with warrior up fervor. Lena cornered me at lunch, her goth eyeliner smudged like war paint. Spill Eli. You and Kane? The snaps exploding, Bromance or more? Polls. I flushed, shoving a fry in my mouth to buy time. It's complicated. Good complicated. She eyed me, then grinned, fierce as a fox. About time you played your own game. Just watch Tommy. He's got that bully gleam. Afternoon waits were war. Iron clanging like accusations, mirrors reflecting a body caught between brothers. Jax's bulk starting to fill out my frame from the grind, but Elias's eyes staring back, softer, seeking. Riley spotted me between sets, towel draped like Apollo, and murmured, "You're glowing, man. Secret suits you." We stole a moment in the alcove, lips meeting quick and quiet, a rebellion wrapped in tenderness. "Friday's big," he said, forehead to mine. "Win or lose, we've got after." My heart swelled, after, with him, the world remade. Home was haven and hell. Mom fussing over Jax's meds, Dad grumbling about that damn bike. The air thick with unspoken grief. I helped Jax with PT, his leg a roadmap of scars, and he grilled me on plays, eyes sharpening like he was memorizing me anew. "Kane treating you right out there?" Casual but probing. I hesitated. Then, "Yeah, more than right." His brow arched, twin intuition sparking. "Spill." So I did, in halves, the fake out, the fall. He listened, then punched my arm, light, loving. "Knew you had balls under that poet shit. Just don't get caught. Or do. Your call, bro." Dusk found me at the river again. Riley's Jeep headlights cutting the gloom like beacons. We spread a blanket. His idea, stolen from his sister's picnic stash. Under the willows, stars wheeling overhead like conspirators. Beers gave way to stories. His first crush on a summer camp counselor, mine on the lifeguard with the laugh like summer thunder. Laughter peeled, then hushed to kisses, slow, exploratory, mapping territories uncharted. His hand on my chest, feeling the rabbit rhythms. Mine in his hair, tousled curls soft as secrets. "Tell me about Elias," he whispered, head on my shoulder, river murmuring approval. So I did. The sketchbooks filled with charcoal boys in motion. The poems scrawled in fever after Jax's parties where I'd watch him. Riley, from afar, a moth to his flame. "I was invisible," I admitted. "But you saw." He lifted, eyes solemn. "Always did. Jax was the sun. You're the moon." Pulling tides I didn't know I had. We made out till mosquitoes drove us home. The drive a blur of stolen glances and radio anthems. Born to run, our unofficial theme. Tuesday brought storm clouds, literal and lit. Practice canceled. School a half-day fog of pop quizzes and procrastination. I holed up with Jax, binging old game tapes, his commentary a lifeline. "See that stiff arm? Use it Friday." But his eyes wandered to my phone, buzzing with Riley's memes. Dumb Jock humor masking affection. "He's solid," Jax said finally. "Don't fuck it up by being you." Hurt lanced, but I knew he meant too much you, the vulnerable parts that scared even me. Text from Lena pinged mid-afternoon. "Tommy's rallying the team. Practice tomorrow, but watch your back." Something about weeding out weak links. Chill slithered down my spine. Weak links, like the soft running back fumbling under pressure? I met Riley at the abandoned lot behind the mill, our new spot gravel crunching under tires. He pulled me into the cab, kisses urgent, hands roaming shirts but stopping at skin. Boundaries respected, fire banked for later. "Heard whispers," he said, breath ragged. "Tommy's full of shit. I've got your play, literally." We schemed then over vending machine chips. I'd stick to basics, let muscle memory carry the load, while he fed me easy dumps. "Team's family," he insisted, but doubt gnawed. Family that turned on its own? Elmwood's underbelly was ugly. The slurs spray-painted on lockers, the queer kid who'd transferred after sophomore prom. Riley's jaw tightened. "Not on my watch. We're warriors. Fight for each other." His conviction wrapped me like armor. And as we parted, his kiss lingered. "Love this. Us." First time spoken. A grenade in my chest, blooming warm. Wednesday's practice was powder keg. Skies cleared, but air crackled with undercurrents. Coach ran suicides till lungs burned, Then full scrimmage. Us against JV, no mercy. I exploded off the line, Jax's legs lending fire, hauling for daylight till Tommy laid a block low and late, knee to thigh. Pain bloomed white-hot. I crumpled, vision spotting. Whistles shrieked, Riley shoving through. "What the fuck, Ruiz?" Tommy loomed, feigning concern. "Slipped, man. Toughen up." But his eyes gleamed malice. Riley helped me limp to the bench, ice pack pressed gentle, his touch a balm. "You're okay," he murmured, for my ears alone. "Breathe." Coach chewed Tommy out, unsportsmanlike, but no bench, just warning. Locker room after was tense. Slaps turned stiff, glances averted. Tommy cornered me at my stall, voice low venom. "Heard things, Jax, or whoever? You and Kane? Freaky. Team don't need that poison." Ice in my veins, I straightened, Elias Steele under Jack's facade. "Mind your gaps, Ruiz, or I'll run right through him." Night fell heavy. I iced at home, Jax's worry mirroring mine. "Call it," he urged. "Let me hobble back." But pride and Riley held me. Text exchange lit my screen. "You good?" "Bruised. But yours?" His reply, "Always. River." I demurred, limp too obvious, but promised Friday. Alone in bed, pain-throbbing duet with heart, I sketched him. Riley in profile, jaw set against sunset, a warrior's quiet strength. Sleep came fitful, dreams of fields turning to minefields. Love the tripwire. Thursday was tease. Light drills, film study where Riley's arm draped casual over my chair, a shield. Whispers persisted, Tommy's faction murmuring, but coach's pep talk drowned them. "Rivorton's got our number. We take it back, or we fade." Eyes on me, expectant. I nodded, resolve hardening. After, Riley pulled me aside in the equipment shed, door creaking shut on the world. "Scared?" he asked, backing me against racks of pads, lips hovering. "Terrified," I confessed, "of losing this." His kiss was answer, fierce, affirming, hands framing my face like fragile glass. "Won't happen. Promise." Elmwood's eve of game ritual was bonfire at the pit. Flames leaping high, kegs tapped illegal, stories spun tall. I went as Jax, but felt Elias through. Riley's hand finding mine in the shadows, pulling me to the treeline. "Dance with me," he said. No music but crickets and crackle. We swayed awkward, laughing at missteps, his breath warm on my neck. "Friday," he whispered. "We run it clean, then, after party's ours." Hope flickered, bright as embers, but betrayal brewed in the dark. As we rejoined the circle, Tommy's voice cut sharp. "Yo, Jax, Kane says you're his good luck charm." "How cute." Laughter rippled, uneasy. Riley stiffened beside me. "Shut it, Tommy." But the seed was sown, doubt's first sprout. I forced a Jax grin, tossing a log on the fire to roar defiance. But inside, fissures spread. Home late. Jax waited up, heard from Lena. "Tommy's got dirt. Old snap from summer? You two at the lake." My blood iced. That innocent swim horsing around, twisted now to fuel flames. Friday dawned fever bright, game day gold. School was ghost town. Pep assembly where cheerleaders cartwheeled, band blared Sweet Caroline, and coach's speech thundered unity. I sat front row, Riley's knee to mine under banners, a private pulse. Lockers pregame. Tapes slapping skin, prayers muttered low, the ritual hum of warriors girding. Tommy bumped me hard. "Play good, Fairy, or don't play." Riley overheard, stepping up. "Back off, Ruiz. Last warning." Tension crackled, but coach's claps scattered it. "Focus." Stadium swelled. Stands a sea of crimson and gold, fog horns bleeding, the scent of hot dogs and high stakes. Kickoff loomed, heart a drum solo. In the tunnel, Riley gripped my shoulder. "We've got this. You and me." His eyes, fierce, fond, anchored me. Whistle blew, and we surged onto the field, turf vibrating under cleats. The lie and love intertwined like laces. The opening kick soared like a comet, Rivorton's returner fielding it deep, And suddenly the game was a blur of green jerseys swarming. The ball squirting free on the 10. Recovery. Our ball, first and goal, the crowd's roar a living beast. Riley under center, barking cadences sharp as tacks. And on the snap, he dropped back. Poised, pocket collapsing like a bad soufflé. "Jacks!" he yelled. The ball spiraling true to my hands mid-flat, blockers peeling like petals. I juked a corner, stiff-armed to safety. Jax's move, Elias's grace, and dove in untouched. Touchdown, 7-0, less than 2 minutes gone. The stadium quaked. High fives rained. But Riley's hug lingered. Helmet clack hiding his "knew you could." Rivorton answered fierce. A 60-yard bomb on their drive, tying it at 7-7 by quarter's end. Their D-line a wall of meat grinding us backward. Second quarter turned trench warfare. Punts pinning us deep, fumbles forced in the mud. Elmwood's field, usually forgiving, slick as betrayal under the lights. I took a hit on a sweep, helmet jarring, stars winking, but popped up Jack's grinning, waving off trainers. Riley's glance from the sideline, worry wrapped in will, pushed me on. Halftime locker room was inferno. Coach pacing like a caged lion, dry erase board a battlefield of X's and O's. They keying on the run. Flip it, play action, bootlegs. His finger stabbed at Riley. Then me. "You, Jax. Sell the fake. Then we'll out." Nods rippled, but Tommy's mutter slithered. "If he can fake being straight, he can fake a handoff." Silence dropped like a guillotine. Heads snapped. Riley surged up. "Ruiz, you're benched. Now." Coach blinked, then barked, "Out. Cool off." Tommy stormed, door slamming thunder, but the damage lingered. Eyes darting, trust fraying. We emerged for the second half reborn. Onside kick recovered, Riley launching a strike to our wideout for 20, then screen to me bursting for 30 more. Rivorton's secondary bit hard on the play fake, leaving me single covered. I shed the tackle, legs churning to the house. Another TD, 21-7. The band blared, thunderstruck. Fans chanting my Jax's name, but it was Elias's lungs burning. Elias's joy spiking when Riley hooped, "That's my guy." But momentum's a fickle mistress. Late third, Rivorton marched 80 yards on slant patterns we couldn't cover. Their QB scrambling like a weasel for the go-ahead score. 28-21. Our drive stalled. Interception on a tipped pass. Riley's face crumpling under his helmet as he jogged off. "My bad," he growled in the huddle, but I squeezed his pad. "Next one's ours." Fourth quarter ticked merciless. 3 and outs, penalties piling like sins, the clock a tyrant. With 4:12 left, down 7, ball on our 25, it was do or die. Riley clapped for silence, eyes sweeping the circle. Mine last, locking fierce. One play at a time. For Elmwood. For us. Hut hut. And we erupted. Bootleg rollout, me flaring deep on a post, Rivorton's safety cheating underneath. The ball hung eternal, then nestled perfect in my gloves. I turned upfield, blockers leading, weaving through traffic like a needle in haystack. 50 yards, 40. Tacklers closing, but I hurdled a dive, spun out of a wrap, and lunged for pay dirt as the gun sounded. Tie game, 28 all, pandemonium reigning. Overtime, coin toss hours, we deferred. Rivorton first, 3 runs, field goal good, 31-28. Our turn, hearts volcanic. Huddle prayer quick, Riley's hand on my back, electric and snap. Draw play, me churning for 4, then a slant to the tight end for 10. First down, crowd of frenzy, foghorns wailing. Second down, play action, me leaking on a wheel route, Riley's eyes finding mine through the chaos. The throw, threaded needle, hit my numbers. I high-stepped into the end zone, untouched. 34-31. Extra point sales true. Victory. The pylon was avalanche. Teammates burying us, Gatorade showers drenching coach, the stands emptying onto the field in a tide of crimson joy. Riley and I emerged gasping, helmets off, grins feral. His arms slung around me, pulling close in the crush. "We did it," he panted, forehead to mine, salt-streaked and shining. You did it, Elias. The slip of my name, amid the roar, was intimate as a vow. But as confetti rained, Tommy's shadow loomed at the periphery, ejected but not erased, his glare a promise of storms unborn. Aftermath was euphoria's haze. Bus ride home singing off-key anthems, parents mobbing the gate with hugs and thermoses of cocoa. Mom crushed me first. My boys, both unbreakable, oblivious to the double meaning, Dad's rare bear hug following. Jax waited in the lot, crutches akimbo, his whoop piercing. Knew you'd ball out, imposter. We fist-bumped, twins reunited in triumph. But my eyes sought Riley's Jeep pulling away, our after-party beckoning. His place was empty. Parents at a casino night, sibling at college. A craftsman bungalow on the edge of town, porch light glowing welcome. I arrived in Jax's truck, nerves jangling anew. But he met me at the door, towel-dried hair curling, wearing sweats and a warrior's tee that hugged his frame like memory. Champ, he greeted, pulling me in for a kiss that tasted of adrenaline and apple pie, his mom's staple. We collapsed on the couch, replaying the game on muted TV, his head on my chest, fingers tracing lazy eights on my arm. You were poetry out there, he murmured, voice rumble against my ribs. Every cut, every burst, beautiful. Heat bloomed low, but we kept it soft. Talks of futures, Ohio State for him, maybe art school for me in Cleveland, dreams woven like safety nets. We'll make it work, he insisted when doubt crept. Long distance? Nah, weekends, holidays, us against the miles. His certainty was balm, but shadows lingered. Tommy's benching, the whispers that would swell come Monday. Midnight found us on the back deck, stars carpet above, fireflies winking like accomplices. He fetched blankets, wrapped us cocooned, and we necked slow, exploring with hands and whispers, boundaries honored, fire kindled not consumed. I love you, he said sudden, into the hollow of my throat. The words a meteor strike, panic flickered, too soon. But truth surged. Love you too, Riley. Real as this. Laughter bubbled, tears pricking. The river's distant hush our serenade. Dawn crept pink, stealing us to his kitchen for pancakes. Burnt edges, syrup rivers. Giggles over spatulas like old souls. Stay, he pled. But Jax texted. Mom's asking. Team breakfast soon. Reluctant, I dressed, stealing one last kiss at the door. Lingering, laden. Monday, he promised. We'll face it together. Driving home, sun climbing, I felt invincible. Fake Jock unmasked in love's light, the world tilting toward yes. But Elmwood's idols are illusions. Monday's school was siege. Hallways a gauntlet of backslaps and MVP. Chants, but undercurrents roiled. Tommy's allies clustering, whispers like wasps. Lena's warning in homeroom. He's pissed. Posted some shit over weekend. Heroes or hoes? With your pick from Bonfire. My gut twisted. The snap was viral now. Polls tipping ugly. 60% team drama. Riley found me at lunch. Sliding in protective. Ignore it. Focus on us. But his eyes shadowed, his own spotlight scorching. Practice that afternoon was reckoning. Coach announced Tommy's suspension, 2 games, for the hit and conduct. But the lineman exploded in the lot post whistle, cornering us by the fence. You two fags tanked the vibe. Whole teams laughing. Spittle flew, fists clenched. Riley stepped forward, chest out. Back down, Ruiz. It's over. But Tommy lunged, haymaker wild, and connected with my jaw, stars exploding anew. Chaos. Teammates pulling, shouts echoing, me tasting copper on turf. Coach hauled us to his office, ice packs and incident reports, his face thunder. This ends now. Team meeting, dawn tomorrow. Riley stayed till my mom picked me up. Bruise blooming purple, her worry a fresh wound. Jax iced my face at home, fury etching his features. I'll kill him. But I waved it off, texting Riley, worth it. For you. His reply, hate this. Love you more. Night was vigil. Painkillers dulling ache, but sleep evaded. Mind replaying the punch, the whispers, the what-ifs. Betrayal's taste was bitter. Not just Tommy's, but the town's, the sports, the fragility of our bubble. Jax slipped in late, sitting bedside. "You're not fake, Eli. You're braver than me. Always were." His hand in mine, twin bond reforged, but dawn loomed like Judgment Day. Team meeting in the gym, bleachers creaking under weight of warriors weary. Coach stood podium tall. "We're family. Act like it." But Tommy, reinstated on apology, spoke venom. "Some ain't pulling weight. Distracted. Queer shit poisoning us." Gasps rippled. "Eyes on us, me, Riley." He stood then, voice steady as steel. "Yeah, I'm bi. And Elias, Jax's brother, stepping up, he's gay. We're together. Deal with it or leave." Silence deafened. Then murmurs swelled, shock, support, scorn. I rose, heart hammering. I pretended for Jax, for the team. But the feelings? Real. If that's poison, test me. I'm antidote. Chaos erupted. Some bolting, others clapping. Lena in the stands, fist pumped. Tommy sneered, but coach shut it. "Out, Ruiz. Permanent." The room fractured, alliances shifting like sand. But Riley's hand found mine in the fray, grip unbreakable. Aftermath cascaded. Parents called, rumors raging. Mine supportive in shock, his dad gruff but, "As long as you're happy, son." School admin mediated, but the team? Splintered. Some ghosted. Others doubled down, our core 5 strong, vowing loyalty. Jax, from sidelines, "Proud, bro. Now run with it." Friday's game without Tommy was cleaner. We crushed Central 42-14. Me, Elias now, name tape true, rushing for 180, Riley throwing lasers. Post-game, no pylon frenzy, but quiet huddles, nods of respect. Rivorton rematch loomed, but bigger battles brewed. The world's, our own. Winter's breath crept in post-Rivorton rematch. A nail-biter we clawed 27-24. My game-winning scamper sealed with a dive that tore ligaments in my ankle. Jax's legacy passed like a baton mid-race. Crutches clicked duet with his now. Twins hobbled but whole. The field lights fading on a season etched in scars and triumphs. Elmwood buzzed with playoff fever, but for us, me and Riley, the real playoffs played out in stolen moments. Library carols for study dates that dissolved into doodles and whispers. His Jeep's back seat for bundled makeouts under blankets. The world's chill no match for our heat. Coming out rippled wider. Snap polls flipped to support the lovers? Trending local, Lena's art club mural of 2 silhouetted figures under goalposts sparking debate in the paper. Heroes or heretics? Mom baked Riley pies, her way of welcome. Dad grunted approval over beers. Boy treats you right? Good. But shadows lingered. Tommy's expulsion to juvie for vandalism. Slurs keyed into our trucks. Whispers in Walmart aisles. The pastor's Sunday sermon on Sodom's snares that cleared our pew half empty. Riley's home became sanctuary. His room a chaos of trophies and textbooks, posters of Brady and Baryshnikov cheek by jowl, symbolizing his split soul. We'd sprawl on his bed, homework abandoned for poetry. Me reading Ginsberg aloud, him tracing verses on my skin with fingertips, goosebumps rising like applause. "You're my muse," he'd say, earnest as dawn, and I'd blush, pulling him close for kisses that deepened slow, exploring trust's tender edges. No rush. Love's pace our own, bodies speaking volumes without crossing lines. Each touch a chapter in our unfolding. Playoffs quartered us against Toledo Tech. A bus ride north through snow-dusted interstates. The team tighter now. Our queer core the glue. Straight allies stepping up with "got your backs" and shared playlists. Hotel night was mischief. Pillow fights escalating to truth or dare. Riley daring me to serenade the vending machine with "I will always love you." My off-key warble earning groans and grapes. Later, in our shared room, Coach's blind eye. We talked futures under starless ceiling. His OSU dream, my acceptance to Cleveland Institute of Art, summers bridging the gap with road trips and river runs. Game day was crucible. Tech's ferocious, sacking Riley thrice early, our offense sputtering in sub-zero wind. Halftime down 14-3, frostbite nipping, coach's fire lit us. Dig deep, for the brothers beside you. Third quarter pivot, me on crutches, but Jack suiting up limited, handing off my routes to freshman firebrands. Riley scrambled, extending plays like elastic, a 60-yard keeper tying it. OT thriller. Field goal exchange, then our final drive, fake spike, slant to the frosh for the win, 20-17. Huddle explosion. Hugs fierce, tears freezing on lashes. Riley's, "We fucking did it," echoing mine. Bus euphoria soured southbound. Texts from home. Tommy out on bail. Rumors of a team reckoning party he'd crash. We pulled into Elmwood at midnight. Snow blanketing sins, but caution taped the air. Riley dropped me at the river pull-off instead of home. Safer here. Talk. Under willows silvered white. We crunched to the bank, breaths clouding like ghosts. Scared? He asked, gloved hand in mine. Of what comes next, after the whistle blows on us. His squeeze. Then we improvise. Together. The reckoning was billed as celebration. Booster barn on the outskirts, hay bales and heaters, kegs flowing under holly-adorned rafters. We arrived arm in arm, a statement in flannel and jeans, greeted by cheers from our core, side eyes from fringes. Jax wheeled in on his scooter, upgrade from crutches. Mom and Dad flanking like sentinels. Lena DJing indie anthems that clashed delightfully with country requests. Riley and I claimed a bail corner, his arm casual draped, but tension hummed. Tommy's absence a vacuum sucking in suspicion. Dance floor cleared for two-step, and Riley pulled me up. Come on, city boy. Teach me your moves. We swayed off beat, laughter bubbling over Wonderwall. His chin on my shoulder, world shrinking to wool and warmth. But midway, the door banged open. Tommy, liquored and livid, flanked by dropout buddies. Party crashers, he bellowed, bottle raised like a torch. Music scratched, room freezing. Coach materialized. Ruiz, you're trespassing. But Tommy's eyes locked on us, venom distilled. Look at the lovebirds. Bet that's why we almost lost tech. Distracted by Dick. Murmurs swelled. Fists clenched. Riley stepped forward, me tugging back. Don't. But Tommy lunged again. This time at him. Swing wild. Chaos. Hay flying, shouts blending, Jax's crutch cracking a knee. I dove in, tackling low, Elias instinct, not Jack's power, and we tumbled, rolling in straw and struggle. Punches glanced, elbows jabbed, till boosters hauled him off. Sirens wailing distant. Bruises fresh, but Riley pulled me up. Checking. You okay? Nodding. Tasting blood and victory. We are. Police statement in the snow-dusted lot. Mom's coat around my shoulders. Riley's hand steady in mine. Tommy cuffed, spitting curses, but the team encircled us. Silent sentinels, then voices rising. That's our guys. Fuck off, Tommy. Dawn broke pale as we dispersed. The barn a battlefield of broken bottles and broken bonds. Home. Jax high-fived my split lip. Family sticks. Sleep claimed me dreamless. Riley's text lullaby. Survived. Stronger. Semifinals south to Cincinnati. Skyline a beacon of big league dreams. The team of Phoenix from ashes. Tommy's trial pending. Our story local news fodder. Love on the line. Elmwood's gay gridiron guardians. Reporters swarmed pregame. Mics thrusting. But Riley fielded smooth. We're just playing ball. Loves the bonus round. His wink to camera. Me in frame, crutches propped. Sent hearts aflutter online. Game was Symphony Savage. Against Powerhouse Kings, we trailed 21-10 at half. Their RB a blur we couldn't corral. My ankle throbbed sidelines, but Jax limped patterns, whispering routes to me like spells. Third quarter surge, Riley's 80-yard bomb. Our D's pick six, tied it. Final minute, down 28-27. Ball hours at midfield. No huddle, hearts synced. Screen right, go. Riley called. I wait. No, the frosh. Took the pitch, bursting for daylight. me screaming from bench like birthing his run. Goal line stand. We stuffed their 2-point. Victory ours 27-28 wait. No, 28-28. Wait. Field goal as time expired, 31-28 win. Euphoria eternal. Locker room catharsis. Tears, toasts with Gatorade. Coach's hug of first. Bear tight. Proud of you boys. All of you. Bus to hotel was ballad sung. Riley beside me, head on shoulder. State finals next. Then, us. His fingers laced mine. Promise palpable. Hotel lounge post-win. Pizza and poker. Stories swapped till eyes drooped. Our room shared again. We crashed entwined. Clothed, chaste, but close as skin. His snores soft symphony to my sketches of the night. Finals eve in Columbus. OSU's turf a colossus under dome lights. Scouts in suits like vultures velvet. Nerves jangled breakfast. What if we choke? Riley quelled with a kiss over coffee. Quick. In the diner booth, waitress winking. We won't. Got too much riding. Jax called. Run like hell. For the twins. Mom's care package arrived. Cookies. Notes. Break legs. Gently. Lena's video. Slay lovers. Kickoff cracked like fate. Against Akron All-Stars. Undefeated juggernaut. They struck first. Pick six off a tipped pass. 7-0. We answered with grit. Riley to Frosh for 30. Me sideline strategist. Calling audibles via headset. Halftime 14-10 down. Adjustments fierce. Blitz packages will routes exploited. Third. Touchdown wheel to tight end. Tie. Fourth. Back and forth. Fumble recovered. Field goal good. 20-17 us with 2 o'clock left. Their drive. Methodical clock killing to our 20. Fourth and inches. They go for it. Stuffed. Our ball, kneel and done. State champs. Trophy hoist amid confetti blizzard. Riley and I at apex. Kiss impulsive. Cameras flashing. Crowd roaring approval. We did it. He gasped, tears salting smiles. All real. Banquet week later was pinnacle. Gym decked formal, gowns and ties, speeches soaring. Coaches toast. To underdogs, outcasts. To love that lifts. Riley's acceptance. Scholarship in hand. Dedicated to Elias, my playmaker off-field. Blush hot. I claimed the mic. To Jax, my mirror. To Riley, my north. Dance floor hours. Slow sway to thinking out loud. World watching but we blind. 2 boys. Forged in fire, unbreakable. But humanism's hue tempers gold. Whispers of transfers. Teams fracture lingering. Tommy's shadow in court dates. Yet in quiet river runs come spring. Art shows where Riley cheers my abstracts. OSU visits blending futures we built. Betrayal's sting faded to scar. Deep feelings the salve. Fake jock to real heart. The accidental connection that saved us all. Spring thawed Elmwood slow. Snow yielding to mud. Then miracles. Crocuses punching through like defiant hopes. Graduation loomed. Caps ordered. Futures inked. Mine to Cleveland's art lofts. Riley's to Columbus Coliseums. But weekends wove us tight. Drives to the river, now blooming with dogwood lace. Picnics of PB&J and poetry slams where I'd recite originals, him critiquing with kisses. Raw, he'd say, eyes alight. Like you. Jack's heeled crooked. Knee a permanent hitch, ending his gridiron ghost, but pivoted graceful. Coaching Pee-wee, his laugh booming fields anew. Your fault? He'd tease, ruffling my hair. Made me see beyond the yards. Mom's garden flourished. Dad's silences softened to stories over grills. Tales of his own youth. Love's lost to labels. Don't wait like I did, boys. Lena's mural went viral, inspiring a GSA club that met in her basement. Rainbow flags fluttering like fledglings' wings. Tommy's trial was tempest. Assault charges? Hate crime kicker. His plea a mumbled regret that rang hollow. Courtroom packed. Our team in letters jackets, standing sentinel, we watched him sentenced. Probation, counseling, a year banned from fields. His glare as cuffs clicked. Venom, but diluted. Outside, Riley's arm around me. Justice, not revenge. Letters came later. From his mom, tear-stained thanks for not pressing harder. Humanity's quiet coda. Summer scorched in, internships pulling Riley to coaching camps, me to gallery gigs in the city. Partings ached. Goodbye kisses at bus stops, texts a lifeline. Miss your ink-stained hands. Miss your spiral thumb. But reunions reignited. Bonfire beach trips to Lake Erie, sandcastles sculpted queer, towers topped with conch shells, moats of moony waves. One night, stars thick as freckles, he proposed a pact. Matching tattoos? Small river wave for us. Ink day in a Cincy parlor. Needles buzzing benediction. His wince mirroring mine. Forearms banded in blue curls forever. Fall folded us into new rhythms. OSU orientation for him. Buckeye games where I'd visit. Blending in scarlet seas. Our secret cheers amid the throng. My dorm in Cleveland hummed creative. Easels splattered. Roommates quizzing. Who's the jock in your sketches? But weekends were pilgrimages south. His apartment a nest of takeout boxes and tangled sheets. Still chaste, our pace patient, passion in pauses. Thanksgiving at home. Tables groaning turkey. Jax's toast, to accidents that connect. Eyes twinkling twin-wise. Winter's grip gentle to holidays. Tree trimming with his family, his dad's gruff, call me pop. Melting ice. New Year's at the river, fireworks over water. His resolution whispered, marry me someday? Laughter first, too young. Then serious, yeah, someday. Spring semester bloomed cross-state. Video calls over coffee, surprise visits crashing lectures. Art crawls where he'd feign profundity at my exhibits. Buying prints for the fridge. Conflict crested subtle. Distances drag, a fumble in communication. Me buried in finals, him in spring ball. Leading to a fight over phone, static-laced barbs. You ghosted. You're always scrimmaging. Tears tracked, but apology arrived express. Him at my door, roses wilting in rain. Can't run without you. Makeup was masterpiece. Hours talking thresholds, setting sails. Summer sublet together in Columbus, testing waters. That sublet was revelation. Shoebox apartment over a bookstore. Walls papered in my drawings, his jerseys. Mornings. Coffee brewed, him quizzing my color theory. Evenings. Runs along the Scioto, hands swinging syncopated. Intimacy evolved natural, first shared tentative, reverent, bodies learning languages of trust, no rush, just right. Love you deeper, he'd murmur post, and I'd trace his tattoos, waves rippling with breath. Fall senior year, his, my junior, brought crossroads. NFL scouts circling him, galleries scouting me. A pro day combined saw him shine. But post, his call trembled. They want me, Eli. Draft eligible. Joy spiked with fear. Leagues meant leagues apart, glamour's grind. We schemed, artist of the team. I joked, but truth rooted. Wherever, together. My solo show in Cleveland. Fields of feeling. Drew crowds, Riley front row, tears proud as he bought the centerpiece. Us, abstracted in turf and touch. Winter deepened bonds. His draft watch party at home. Elmwood packed. Jax's scooter festooned Bucks gear. Call came mid-second round. Bengals, hometown heroes. Euphoria exploded. Hugs, hats. His first call to me. Cincinnati. Close enough. Relief flooded. My internship landed nearby. Graphic design for a firm. Bridges built. Spring wedding bells? Nah, not yet, but proposals planned. His knee post-draft gala, ring simple as Riverstone. Elias, accidental MVP. Marry me? Knees buckled, yes tumbling free. Vows vowed small. Backyard affair, Jack's best man. Lena officiant in rainbow stole. Rings exchanged under willows, river witness, crowd our core. Family forged, not born. Years unfurled. His rookie season gritty. Starter by mid. Bengals faithful chanting Kane, Kane. Me freelancing covers for Queer Lit. Our condo a haven of highlights and half-finished canvases. Challenges came. His injury sophomore year mirroring Jax's, my exhibit flop that bruised ego. But we weathered therapy tandem, talks turning tempests to trade winds. Jack's married Lena, surprise summer elopement, us toasting in the barn reborn rec center. Mom's grandkids came via them first, then ours. Adopted duo, boys with his curls, my eyes. Christened at the river, waves lapping lullabies. Dad's stories evolved to grandpa's silences sung. Decades dusted U.S. gold. His hall call, my retrospective at the Met, but truest triumph? The quiet, porch swings creaking, hands veined but laced, watching sunsets paint the Ohio eternal. Betrayal's echo? Faint as old playbooks. The fake? Forgiven, foundation for real. A love accidental but intentional ever after. In the end, humanism's grace. We connected not despite the pretense, but through it. Jock's shell cracking to heart's core, feelings real as first light. And in that American dream, flawed and fierce, we ran the play of our lives.